This is a photo comparison of the sea ice in the Arctic Ocean. As you can tell, much of it has melted. Approximately 70% of the total volume is gone. Now, why is this happening? Climate change. Climate change refers to the shift in temperatures and weather patterns over a long period of time. This change can happen naturally due to volcanic eruptions or a change in solar activity. However, humanity has had a devastating effect on our planet's climate. Since the Industrial Revolution, an uptake in CO2 emissions on our planet has had many devastating results, such as global warming, disruption of our ecosystems, extreme weather, rising ocean levels, along with many other destructive consequences. During the Industrial Revolution, in the 19th century, humanity began to burn fossil fuels as a new means of powering different machines. Since then, carbon emissions into our atmosphere have had permanent effects on our planet's natural ecosystem. So what exactly are greenhouse gases, and how do they affect our planet? Our planet has natural greenhouse gases which keep heat on our planet. Without any greenhouse gases, we would be unable to live in a freezing cold climate. The problem that humans have created by burning massive amounts of carbon dioxide into our atmosphere is that carbon sinks like trees, soil, and the ocean only absorb so much carbon, and yet we are burning far more than they can absorb. This is leading to more greenhouse gases, therefore leading to more heat being trapped on Earth, which is the cause of global warming. So what is being done to fight climate change? Many different companies are currently attempting to do their part in reducing their CO2 emissions. Google has been carbon neutral since 2007, and they aim to be completely carbon-free by 2030. Google has also invested over $3.5 billion into clean energy innovations worldwide. Another massive climate change initiative was started by Amazon, and it is called the Climate Pledge. This pledge aims to bring the world's top companies together and commit to net zero carbon emissions by the year 2040. Many notable companies have signed the pledge, such as Visa, Uber, and Microsoft. This pledge is a testament to the power a large corporation like Amazon can have on other companies and their efforts in fighting climate change. Well, it's great that the big companies can make a difference, but you're probably wondering what you can do to help. While you may not be the CEO of an influential company, you can still make an impact. By turning lights and appliances off when not in use and purchasing machines with better efficiency, you can reduce your carbon footprint. Another great thing you can do is drive an electric car or vehicle, and while this may be very expensive, don't worry, because taking public transit, biking, and carpooling are just as impactful. Consider changing your diet from eating beef and dairy, as livestock is one of the biggest industries when it comes to producing greenhouse gases. All of these lifestyle changes make a bigger difference than you may think, but one of the biggest and most important things you can do is raise awareness. Because if people are not educated on the problem, they won't take action, and if we don't work together, then creating a better future will be especially hard. By supporting different companies that help in raising awareness and create products with the planet's well-being in mind, we can help maintain our beautiful planet. Companies like BC Hydro and TELUS both contribute to renewable energy across British Columbia. What can we do politically? A government who values the climate and environment can make a big difference. When we as a society elect someone into a position of power, we have to be sure that they care about our planet, because climate initiatives made by the government will change the world. On July 1st, 2008, British Columbia introduced the first carbon tax in North America, where companies had to pay a $10 tax on every ton of CO2 emitted, and this has gradually increased since. British Columbia has since reduced its emissions while sustaining a growing economy. In 2019, all Canadian provinces without a carbon tax were mandated by the country to have one. The federal carbon tax began at $20 per ton of CO2 emitted and increased by $15 annually since its inception in 2019. The government will give rebates back to the citizens in various forms, from direct tax relief to investments in local renewable transit, such as the SkyTrain and Canada Line in the Lower Mainland, British Columbia. This solution has also been very controversial in Canada, as when the government imposes a tax on CO2 emissions, then all other prices will rise. Carbon is needed in most value chains economically, and when it becomes more expensive for these companies to create and transport their product, then they will be forced to raise their prices, which will directly affect the consumer. Gas prices in Metro Vancouver in 2008, before the carbon tax was introduced, were on average $1.20 per litre. As of December 2024, the average price has shot up to $1.75 per litre. And while this change in price is due to many different factors worldwide, many Canadians are upset with the government because the carbon tax has affected this change in gas prices. Another controversy was when Bill C-38 was passed by the Canadian government in 2012. In summary, this bill put more emphasis on growing the Canadian economy rather than helping our environment. The bill made it easier for large corporations to build things such as pipelines. This bill weakened the laws that the government had made to protect our environment. Many Indigenous groups were affected by this bill as well because it affected how they were consulted about the projects that would take place on their traditional land. People were also very upset with the bill because it was an omnibus bill, which means that the new changes were hidden in a larger change to a bunch of different laws in an attempt to make the new changes more confusing and difficult to understand. Many opposing parties made it clear that they did not support how Stephen Harper and the Conservatives were not transparent about how the changes were made and how the bill was going to affect Canada's attempt to fight climate change. While there have been many controversies when it comes to different climate change related issues, there is still hope for us in the world, as many powerful companies and countries are taking action, and it is important that we do what we can do because one day our kids and grandkids will have to deal with the problems created by the generations before them, and it is crucial that we as a species move towards a better future for our planet and all that live here.